What if your entire reality was contained within a single, invisible sphere? Pause for a moment and truly consider that. Not just hypothetically, but as a lens for how we live our lives. We all, in a profound sense, exist within our own personal spheres, intricate bubbles woven from our daily habits, deeply ingrained beliefs, and the comforting, often unexamined, routines that shape our everyday. These spheres define our comfort zones, dictate our perceptions of what's possible, and often rigidly determine what we accept as absolute truth. But what if a book, a forgotten masterpiece penned over a century ago by the elusive German author Otto Zur Linde, held the audacious key to truly understanding the precise boundaries of your personal world? What if it offered not just insight into these invisible walls, but a revolutionary method to expand them, to venture beyond them, to even reshape them entirely? Join me then on an extraordinary journey. This isn't merely an exploration into the weathered pages of Die Kugel, the sphere. It's an urgent invitation. An invitation to delve deeply into the rarely visited corridors of your own mind, to challenge your established perceptions, and ultimately to reconsider and perhaps fundamentally reshape the very sphere of your own existence. Imagine stepping back in time, not just a few decades, but over a century. The year is 1909. Europe simmers with an unseen tension, a vibrant intellectual ferment brewing beneath the surface of what seemed, to some, like an era of stable modernity. Yet artists, writers, and thinkers were sensing a shift, a profound yearning for deeper meaning beyond the material and the conventional. It was in this crucible of burgeoning unease and radical creativity that a quiet, introspective voice emerged: Otto Zur Linde. He wasn't a celebrity, nor a titan of literature in the grand sense, but his slender, profoundly impactful work, Die Kugel, which translates to the sphere or the orb, offered a unique, almost prophetic commentary on the human condition. Zur Linde's contribution wasn't a sprawling novel or a definitive philosophical treatise. Instead, Die Kugel is a collection of poetic meditations, sharp observations, and deeply felt insights, all revolving around the evocative symbol of the sphere. It's a quintessential piece of early German Expressionism, a movement that sought to express inner psychological truth and emotion over external reality, often in stark, symbolic, and deeply personal ways. Expressionists questioned the rigid societal structures, the perceived emptiness of industrialized life, and wrestled with the raw, often unsettling landscape of the soul. Die Kugel captures this spirit perfectly, inviting us into a contemplation of individuality, isolation, interconnectedness, and the perennial search for one's place within a vast, often overwhelming existence. Now, you might very well be asking yourself, why on earth are we delving into an obscure German book from over 100 years ago by an author many have never heard of? And that is precisely where my personal journey, and hopefully yours, begins to converge with Zur Linde's timeless wisdom. My own discovery of Die Kugel was entirely serendipitous, a chance encounter with a forgotten edition in a quiet library corner. What I unearthed within its pages, however, wasn't merely a historical curiosity or a literary relic. It felt like a direct transmission, a profound resonance with the very core anxieties and paradoxes of our modern, hyper-connected, yet often profoundly isolated world. Think about it, we live in an age of unprecedented digital saturation. Our screens offer a constant, overwhelming deluge of information, connection, and comparison. We are perpetually tethered to a global network, privy to the thoughts, achievements, and curated lives of countless others. Yet, despite this boundless connectivity, a pervasive sense of loneliness, an acute yearning for authentic meaning, and a feeling of being adrift seems to define the modern human experience. We scroll endlessly, we consume voraciously, we engage superficially, but do we truly connect? Do we feel seen? Do we understand our own inner landscape amidst the relentless external noise? Otto Zur Linde, from his quiet, contemplative vantage point in 1909, somehow perceived these very dilemmas. His meditations on the solitary nature of the individual sphere, on the profound implications of our inner world, and on the delicate balance between self-containment and relational engagement, feel not just relevant, but startlingly prescient. It's as if he gazed into the future and observed our present predicament with an uncanny clarity. Kugel offers not just a literary perspective, but a profound, almost spiritual mirror reflecting our own struggles to define ourselves, find our purpose, and cultivate inner peace in a world that constantly threatens to overwhelm us. This isn't just about reading an old book, it's about engaging in a conversation across time, an invitation to confront the timeless questions that continue to shape our experience of being human in this complex, exhilarating, and often profoundly isolating era. So, what exactly is this series going to be? This isn't your typical academic lecture or a dry, word-for-word reading of a foreign text. Think of this journey as something far more immersive, interactive, and, dare I suggest, potentially transformative. We're going to blend the evocative power of an audiobook, allowing Zur Linde's original, carefully chosen words to resonate with you, with the insightful depth of a philosophical guide, where we unpack his intricate concepts and place them firmly within a contemporary context. But we're pushing beyond mere analysis. This series is also designed to function as a practical life manual. We'll explore how the profound, often subtle, insights gleaned from Kugel can be translated into actionable wisdom, into tangible tools, and into empowering perspectives that you can directly apply to your everyday challenges. It's about taking these enduring truths, these century-old observations, and forging them into something truly useful that genuinely enhances your modern life, helps you navigate its inherent complexities, and perhaps even ignites a deeper discovery of your authentic self and purpose. Over the coming episodes, we'll embark together on this unique expedition. We'll meticulously explore each segment of Kugel, peeling back its layers, examining Zur Linde's profound reflections on the nature of solitude and community, on the interconnectedness of all living things, on the delicate dance between ambition and contentment, and on the profound implications of our unique individuality within a larger, unfolding universe. We'll wrestle with challenging questions. How do we identify and cultivate our unique sphere of existence in a world that often demands conformity? How do we maintain our inner balance and integrity when the external world feels perpetually off-kilter and distracting? What does it truly mean to live a rounded, wholehearted life in an age of sharp edges, fragmented attention, and endless superficiality? My aim for this series extends beyond simply presenting you with Zur Linde's brilliant ideas. It is to help you internalize them, to truly chew on them, to prompt you to wrestle with their implications, and ultimately, to seamlessly integrate them into your own evolving understanding of yourself and the world around you. By the culmination of this journey, I sincerely hope you will not only harbor a newfound appreciation for this remarkable, largely forgotten work, but more importantly, gain a renewed sense of clarity, a deeper connection to your own intrinsic wisdom, and a practical, enduring framework for living a more intentional, meaningful, and genuinely human life in these often bewildering times. This is Die Kugel, a century-old secret to modern life, and our profound exploration begins now. Welcome to our journey into the profound world of Otto Zur Linde's Die Kugel. Today, we open our exploration with Chapter 1, The Beauty of the Inner Universe. This opening chapter invites us to radically reframe one of the book's most compelling and often misunderstood themes: solitude. For many, the very word sphere in the book's title immediately conjures images of isolation, confinement, perhaps even a suffocating loneliness. But what if we were to interpret this sphere not as a prison, but as a sanctuary, a sacred space for profound self-discovery and the quiet, deliberate construction of an unshakable inner foundation? Let us consider a passage, one that echoes the very heart of Zur Linde's contemplative spirit, as if plucked from the protagonist's own reflections here, within these silent walls, where the world's clamor fades to a distant whisper, I found not emptiness, but an echoing chamber of my own being. It was here, in the unwavering gaze of my own reflection, that the true contours of my spirit began to emerge, not diminished by isolation, but amplified by its profound stillness. The world without receded, and in its place an entire cosmos unfurled within. This passage beautifully encapsulates our reframing. It speaks not of a void, but of discovery. The protagonist doesn't lament the absence of external stimuli, but rather embraces the opportunity to delve into an inner universe previously obscured by the din of daily life. The sphere becomes a metaphor for intentional disengagement, a chosen retreat that allows for a deeper, more authentic connection with oneself. It's a powerful idea, especially in our modern era. In the bustling landscape of the 21st century, often characterized by hyperconnectivity and the relentless hum of digital notifications, the distinction between loneliness and constructive solitude has never been more crucial. Loneliness, as we all know, is a painful, unwanted feeling of isolation, a yearning for connection that remains unfulfilled even when surrounded by others. It's a sense of disconnection, a feeling of being unseen or unheard despite the constant pings and updates from our devices. We might be endlessly scrolling through feeds, liking posts, commenting, and yet a profound sense of isolation can persist. This is the paradox of our digital age, more connected than ever, yet often feeling more alone. Constructive solitude, by contrast, is a conscious choice. It is the intentional act of stepping away from external demands, from screens, from social obligations, to create space for introspection. It's not about escaping the world, but about returning to oneself. It's a deliberate pause, a moment to listen to the quiet murmurings of your own thoughts, to feel your own emotions without external influence, and to simply be. In a world that constantly demands our attention, offers endless distractions, and encourages external validation, choosing solitude is an act of rebellion, a courageous commitment to your inner life. When we allow ourselves this precious space, our inner world reveals itself as an inexhaustible source of vital resources. Firstly, it's a wellspring of creativity. Think of writers, artists, scientists. Many have sought solitude to tap into their deepest imaginative currents. Without the constant input and noise, our minds are free to wander, to make unexpected connections, to incubate new ideas, and to formulate novel solutions. It's in the quiet spaces that inspiration often whispers its most brilliant insights, unimpeded by the clamor of external opinions or the pressure to perform. Secondly, our inner world is the bedrock of resilience. Life inevitably brings challenges, setbacks, and moments of profound difficulty. It is in our ability to navigate these storms that our true strength is revealed. Solitude provides the crucial mental and emotional space to process these experiences, to understand their impact, and to develop coping mechanisms. It's where we can reconcile with our feelings, learn from our mistakes, and reinforce our core values. When we regularly visit and tend to our inner landscape, we build a robust emotional reservoir, equipping us with the fortitude to bounce back from adversity, rather than being swept away by it. Finally, embracing our inner world cultivates authentic living. In a society that often pressures us to conform, to chase external markers of success, or to present a curated version of ourselves, solitude offers a sanctuary where we can shed these masks. It's here that we can ask ourselves the deeper questions: what truly matters to me? What are my values, separate from societal expectations? What brings me joy, peace, and purpose? By connecting with our authentic self, we gain clarity on our true desires and intentions, enabling us to live a life that is truly aligned with who we are, rather than who we think we should be. This authenticity, born of introspection, is not only liberating but profoundly empowering. So, as we conclude this chapter, I want to offer you an action point, a small step towards cultivating your own inner universe. I encourage you to schedule just 15 minutes of intentional, device-free solitude this week. Find a quiet space, perhaps a corner of your home, a park bench, or even just sitting comfortably with your eyes closed. Turn off your phone, close your laptop, and resist the urge to fill the silence with music or podcasts. Simply allow yourself to be. There's no agenda, no goal to achieve, no problem to solve. Just observe your thoughts, acknowledge your feelings, and breathe. Think of it not as an obligation, but as a gift you give to yourself, a crucial investment in your well-being. This isn't about escaping the world, it's about understanding yourself better so you can engage with the world more fully, more authentically, and with greater resilience. Just as the protagonist in Die Kugel finds a universe within their sphere, so too can we find a profound wellspring of strength and beauty in our own inner space. Embrace your sphere. Cherish your solitude. Welcome back, truth seekers and cosmic explorers, to Die Kugel, an odyssey of thought. In our last chapter, we set the stage for Otto Zur Linde's profound work, understanding its initial premise. Now we delve deeper, turning our gaze from the tangible sphere to the intangible vastness as we embark on Chapter 2, The Cosmic Connection. This chapter invites us to ponder a question as old as humanity itself. What is our place in the boundless cosmos? It's a theme that resonates throughout Die Kugel, challenging us to reconcile our individual existence with the infinite scale of the universe. But crucially, Zur Linde doesn't leave us adrift in abstract contemplation. Instead, he guides us towards a practical, everyday application, translating this profound sense of awe into the fabric of our daily lives. Consider, for a moment, a passage from Die Kugel where our protagonist, lost in the depths of a starlit night, gazes upward. The text describes a visceral sensation, a shrinking of the self against the backdrop of an unimaginable number of celestial bodies. The velvet curtain of night, Zur Linde writes, was pierced by diamonds of impossible light, each a sun, a galaxy, a universe unto itself. My breath caught, not from cold, but from the dizzying precipice of my own insignificance. Here on this fleeting speck of dust I stood, a brief flicker of consciousness amidst an eternity of blazing indifference and breathtaking beauty. This isn't merely a poetic observation, it's an invitation to experience that feeling. It's the moment the human scale clashes with the cosmic scale, and for a fleeting instant, the individual dissolves into the universal. Zur Linde masterfully evokes this profound sense of wonder, tinged with a beautiful humility. He doesn't advocate for despair in our smallness, but rather an expansive appreciation for being part of such an immense, intricate design. Yet, in our modern world, how often do we truly allow ourselves such moments? We are bombarded by information, driven by schedules, and cushioned by technology. The constant hum of our digital lives, the relentless pursuit of productivity, and the endless stream of distractions can numb us to the inherent wonder that surrounds us. We rush past blooming trees without seeing their intricate patterns, walk under a vast sky without truly registering its depth, and consume art or music without letting its profound resonance settle within us. Our sense of awe, once a primal human instinct, can become dulled, replaced by a comfortable, predictable routine. We inadvertently build walls between ourselves and the magnificent, often mundane miracles of existence. This is where the wisdom of Kugel truly shines, urging us to bridge this gap through a practice akin to modern mindfulness. Zur Linde encourages us to seek out the universal within the particular, to find the cosmic connection in the everyday. It's about consciously recalibrating our perception, retraining our minds to recognize the extraordinary in what we've come to label as ordinary. Think of it this way: a single drop of morning dew clinging to a spider's web is not merely water. It is a miniature prism, reflecting the entire sky, holding the light of a distant star, embodying the same physical laws that govern nebulae billions of light years away. In that tiny sphere, we can glimpse the mechanics of the universe. Similarly, the intricate patterns of a leaf, the rhythmic pulse of a shared piece of music, the deliberate brushstrokes in a painting, or even the complex dance of steam rising from your morning coffee, these aren't just isolated phenomena. They are microcosms, echoing grander cosmic designs and universal principles. Mindfulness, in this context, becomes the lens through which we access this deeper perspective. By truly seeing the intricate veining of a leaf, by truly listening to the layered harmonies of a symphony, by truly feeling the warmth of a mug in our hands, we move beyond superficial engagement. We slow down, we pay attention, and in that focused attention, the particular expands, revealing its connection to the universal. We find ourselves in that moment of profound connection, much like Zur Linde's protagonist under the starlit sky, but instead of needing a grand cosmic canvas, we find it in the quiet details of our own immediate world. It's an act of conscious awakening, a deliberate choice to re-enchant our reality. So as we conclude this chapter, I want to leave you with a challenge, an action point to carry forward into your own day. Today, make a conscious effort to find one moment of awe. It doesn't need to be monumental. It could be the way light falls through your window, the complex aroma of your food, the specific texture of something you touch, or the sound of a distant bird. Pause, breathe, and truly perceive it. Allow yourself to feel that spark of wonder, that brief dissolution of the self into something larger and more magnificent. Let it remind you that the cosmic connection isn't just out there, in the far reaches of space. It is here, woven into the very fabric of your existence, waiting to be rediscovered in the smallest, most beautiful details of your everyday life. In our next chapter, we will explore how this newfound perspective influences our understanding of time itself, another profound concept gracefully navigated by Otto Zur Linde. Join me then as we continue our journey into the mind-expanding world of Die Kugel. Welcome back to our exploration of Otto Zur Linde's profound work, Die Kugel. In our previous chapters, we laid the groundwork, delving into the enigmatic nature of the sphere itself and the initial whispers of its influence. Now we arrive at Chapter 3, Shattering Your Reality Bubble. This segment is perhaps the most personal and challenging, for it asks us to turn the lens of Die Kugel inward, transforming the literal sphere into a potent metaphor for our individual comfort zones, our self-imposed limitations, and the echo chambers we unwittingly construct around ourselves. It's about cultivating the courage to confront these invisible walls, to question the familiar, and to embrace the expansive, sometimes unsettling, vista of new perspectives. Zur Linde's narrative, even in its abstract beauty, often hints at the subtle vulnerabilities within what appears outwardly solid. Consider this passage, which, while not explicitly describing a physical crack, evokes a sense of underlying tension, a whisper of potential unraveling. One began to notice a subtle shift, not in its form, for the geometry remained flawlessly absolute, but in the light it held. It was as if the very air within had grown denser, refracting the outer world with a peculiar insistence, suggesting a pressure building not from without, but from an unknown internal force. The edges, once crisp boundaries of immutable being, now shimmered with an almost imperceptible tremor, a phantom vibration that hinted at a deeper, unacknowledged elasticity. The perfect stillness was no longer quite so perfect. A silent hum, a frequency just beyond hearing, seemed to resonate from its core, a testament to a truth perhaps too vast, too wild, to be contained by such pristine symmetry. This passage beautifully captures the essence of our own reality bubbles, seemingly solid, perfectly formed, yet susceptible to an internal tension, a pressure from truths we might suppress or ignore. We construct these spheres out of a fundamental human need for safety, predictability, and belonging. They are woven from our beliefs, our experiences, and the information we choose or are chosen for us to consume. In our modern world, these spheres manifest in various powerful forms. Think, for instance, of the pervasive influence of social media algorithms. They are brilliant architects of our digital spheres, meticulously curating our feeds, showing us more of what we already like, what we already agree with. This creates a highly personalized, yet dangerously narrow, slice of reality. We see only faces we know, opinions we share, news that confirms our existing worldview. While comfortable, this digital cocoon can starve us of diverse viewpoints and foster confirmation bias and make genuine empathy for those outside our bubble increasingly difficult. It's a sphere of affirmation, often at the cost of genuine understanding. Then there are the political bubbles that have become so pronounced in contemporary discourse. These are spheres where ideological purity is prized, where nuanced debate is often sacrificed for tribal loyalty. Within these bubbles, the other side is not merely mistaken, but often demonized, their motives questioned, their humanity diminished. Communication across these divides becomes strained, replaced by echo chambers that amplify internal voices and silence external ones. The walls of these spheres are thick with historical grievances, shared anxieties, and a collective resistance to any information that might challenge the group's established narrative. And perhaps most insidious are our fear-based routines and comfort zones. These are the spheres of our daily lives, the jobs we stay in because they're safe, the relationships we tolerate because they're familiar, the aspirations we postpone because change feels too risky. These spheres are built from habits, from the subconscious desire to avoid discomfort or the unknown. We stick to predictable paths, even if they no longer serve us, because the alternative seems too daunting. The tension Zur Linde describes, that phantom vibration, is the subtle unease we feel when we glimpse the vast potential beyond our routine, the nagging whisper that tells us there's more to life than this carefully constructed normalcy. It's the sphere of the unlived life, protected by the illusion of security. The psychological safety offered by these familiar spheres is undeniable. There's a profound comfort in knowing what to expect, in having our beliefs validated, in avoiding the friction of differing opinions or the vulnerability of new experiences. Our brains are wired to conserve energy, to favor the known over the unknown, to minimize perceived threats. Stepping outside these boundaries can trigger anxiety, a sense of disorientation, even a fear of losing our identity. It requires an admission that perhaps what we've always believed isn't the only truth, or that the path we're on isn't the only possible journey. This can be profoundly unsettling. Yet it is precisely at the edge of these spheres, at the point where the familiar gives way to the unknown, that true growth lies. Growth isn't found in perpetual agreement or in unwavering certainty. It's forged in the crucible of challenge, in the willingness to be uncomfortable, to grapple with ideas that disturb our peace, and to embrace experiences that broaden our horizons. It's where our perspectives deepen, our empathy expands, and our understanding of the world and ourselves becomes infinitely richer. To shatter your reality bubble is to allow new light in, to experience the full spectrum of human experience, rather than just the curated hues within your sphere. It means engaging with divergent viewpoints not to argue, but to understand. It means daring to take that unfamiliar path, to embark on the journey that truly calls to you, even if it feels terrifying. So, as we contemplate Zur Linde's sphere and its metaphorical weight, let's consider our own lives. For our action point for this chapter, I ask you to identify just one belief you hold, one perspective you've adopted, or one routine you follow that you have never truly questioned. Perhaps it's a political stance inherited from family, an assumption about a certain group of people, a limitation you've placed on your own potential, or even a deeply ingrained habit. Think of one thing you accept as an unquestionable truth. Can you find it? Can you identify that one strand in the fabric of your personal sphere that has never truly been tested? Simply identifying it is the first courageous step towards acknowledging the fragility of our spheres and, perhaps, the first whisper of a crack appearing in their seemingly impenetrable walls. In the next chapter, we will delve into the implications of these cracks, exploring what happens when the perfect stillness begins to tremble and the light outside begins to penetrate within. Welcome back to our journey through Otto Zur Linde's profound work, Die Kugel. In this fourth chapter, The Pressure of the Perfect Sphere, we explore the sphere as a potent symbol of the immense, often crushing, pressure we face to be perfect, seamless, and utterly self-contained. It's a pursuit that frequently sacrifices our true selves on the altar of an impossible ideal. Here we champion a different path, embracing imperfection and vulnerability as the bedrock of genuine strength. Zur Linde paints vivid scenes of the protagonist's relentless, almost obsessive, efforts to maintain the sphere's immaculate surface. He describes the meticulous polishing, the painstaking removal of every speck, every microscopic scratch, a frantic devotion where his breath would mist on the gleaming surface as he sought an impossible purity. Each pore, each faint trace of human touch was systematically erased. The burden of that flawless facade, however, was a palpable weight, a constant, silent demand for an absolute perfection inherently alien to his own struggling human form. The sphere, Zur Linde suggests, became less an object of beauty and more a tyrannical mirror, reflecting his anxieties and the terrifying prospect of a single visible flaw. This isn't just about a physical object. It's a powerful metaphor for the psychological toll of striving for an unblemished existence. The strain isn't external, it emanates from within, fueled by the corrosive fear that any perceived imperfection will invalidate the entire self. The sphere, in its pristine, unyielding glory, transforms into a gilded cage. This narrative resonates with unsettling clarity in our modern world, doesn't it? Think of the meticulously curated lives we present on social media. Every post, filtered, airbrushed, perfectly angled, is designed to convey success, happiness, effortlessness. Our online identities become our own perfect spheres, seamless constructs devoid of struggle, doubt, or failure. We chase likes and approval, constantly striving to project an image of invincibility. But beneath this polished exterior lies the gnawing anxiety of being found out, the deep-seated fear of failure that keeps us from taking risks, from showing our true, often messy selves. We've internalized the pressure to be flawless, believing that any crack in our facade will lead to judgment or rejection. This constant performance is exhausting, isolating, and utterly unsustainable. It creates a chasm between who we are and who we pretend to be. Consider the stark contrast between the sterile ideal of the perfect sphere and the vibrant, messy, utterly authentic reality of being human. A perfect sphere is cold, unyielding, self-contained to the point of isolation. It allows for no ingress, no egress, no room for growth or transformation. It is, in its essence, static. But humanity, we are dynamic. We are a tapestry of experiences, triumphs and stumbles, laughter and tears, scars and healing. Our imperfections are not flaws, they are the contours of our unique stories, the very texture of our lives. They are the points where light catches us differently, where we connect with others, where we learn and evolve. There is profound beauty in a life lived fully, with all its beautiful blemishes, its glorious mistakes, its raw vulnerability. True strength isn't about never falling, it's about the courage to get back up, to show your bruises, and to keep going. It's about allowing yourself to be seen, not just as a polished surface, but as a complex, evolving being capable of deep connection precisely because of your humanity. So, how do we begin to dismantle the pressure of this impossible sphere? By daring to be a little less perfect. For our action point today, I invite you to share a small, imperfect moment. Perhaps it's a time you tried something new and didn't quite succeed, a learning experience that felt clumsy, or even just a candid, unposed snapshot of your real life. You could share it with a trusted friend, journal about it, or even, if you feel comfortable, leave it in the comments below. Let's break free from the illusion of flawless existence, one authentic moment at a time. By doing so, we not only liberate ourselves but also extend permission to others to embrace their own beautiful, imperfect humanity. It's in these shared imperfections that true connection flourishes. Welcome back to our journey through Otto Zur Linde's profound work, Die Kugel. In previous chapters, we've explored the sphere's origins, its interactions with the world, and its seemingly boundless surface. Today, we delve into the heart of the matter, quite literally, as we tackle Chapter 5, Finding Your Center in the Chaos. This chapter asks us to look inward, to the very core of the Kugel, and to consider what that means for our own lives. The sphere, in its perfect geometry, possesses an undeniable center, a single, immutable point from which all other points on its surface are equidistant. It is this concept of the Kugel's center that serves as a powerful metaphor for our own core identity and values. In a world that constantly pushes and pulls at the edges of our existence through professional demands, social expectations, and the relentless stream of information, how do we remain grounded? How do we find that unwavering inner point amidst the swirling currents of external pressures and the often overwhelming noise of modern life? Let's turn to a passage from Die Kugel that speaks directly to this idea. Zur Linde writes, "Though the surface of the Kugel may bear the scars of 1,000 impacts, though its exterior may be polished smooth by constant friction or dulled by neglect, its true essence resides not in its visible form, but in the unseen, unyielding core. This center, immutable and serene, is the source of its very sphericity, the silent governor of its eternal balance. Without it, the Kugel would fragment, losing its inherent form and purpose, becoming merely a collection of disparate parts, vulnerable and adrift." This passage beautifully articulates the profound importance of an inner core. It tells us that while our external circumstances, our surface, might change, might endure challenges or embrace new experiences, our true self, our essence, remains anchored within. It's not about being impervious to change, but about having a foundational truth that informs and sustains us through all transformations. Just as the Kugel's center dictates its perfect shape and stability, our personal center, our values, beliefs, and identity dictates the integrity and resilience of our lives, allowing us to maintain our unique form and purpose. Understanding this, the next crucial step is to consciously define what constitutes our core. What are your non-negotiable personal values? These are the principles that guide your decisions, shape your reactions, and define who you are, regardless of external circumstances. They are the immovable anchors in your personal sea. Perhaps it's integrity, compassion, freedom, creativity, community, or growth. Without clearly defining these, we risk being pulled in every direction by external forces, the demands of work, the expectations of society, the fleeting trends of the moment. We become like a ship without a rudder, adrift on the vast ocean, vulnerable to every storm and current. When you know your core values, you have a compass pointing true north. You have a lens through which to evaluate opportunities, challenges, and relationships. They become the filter for your choices, ensuring that even when you adapt to new situations, you don't compromise who you fundamentally are or what you stand for. This brings us to a seemingly paradoxical, yet profoundly true point. A strong, well-defined core allows for incredible flexibility and resilience at the periphery of your life. Think of a gymnast. Their core strength is paramount. It's what allows them to perform incredibly intricate and demanding movements, twisting and turning, stretching to their limits, all while maintaining balance and control. Without that central strength, they would simply collapse. In the same way, when your personal values are clear and robust, you gain the capacity to adapt, to innovate, to bend without breaking when external pressures mount. You can try new things, embrace change, face setbacks, and recover with greater ease because your central identity isn't threatened. The edge of your life, your job, your relationships, your hobbies, your routines can shift and evolve. You can navigate the chaos, take risks, and explore new horizons, knowing that your fundamental self remains intact and grounded. Your core provides the unwavering stability that enables dynamic movement and expansive growth on the outside. Now, I want to invite you to take a moment and find your own center. This isn't a theoretical exercise, it's about practical self-discovery. Let's do a quick exercise to help you identify your top 3 core values. Grab a pen and paper or open a note on your phone. First, I want you to think about a time in your life when you felt most alive, most authentic, most aligned with who you truly are. What was happening? What values were being expressed or honored in that situation? Maybe you were helping someone, creating something new, standing up for what you believed in, or learning something profoundly challenging and rewarding. Now, think about a time when you felt completely out of sync, frustrated, or deeply uncomfortable. What values were being violated or ignored in that situation? Perhaps you felt stifled, disrespected, or pressured to act against your conscience and deepest beliefs. Next, consider a person you deeply admire, someone you look up to. What qualities do they embody that resonate with you? What values do you see them living out in their actions and choices? From these reflections, a pattern should start to emerge. Take a look at a list of common values, things like honesty, courage, compassion, creativity, security, adventure, family, contribution, wisdom, humor, justice, peace, passion, respect, loyalty, freedom, and excellence. Now, from all the thoughts you've generated and the values you've considered, I want you to distill them down. Pick the single word that encapsulates each of your top 3 core values. These are your non-negotiables, your personal compass points. Don't overthink it. Trust your gut feeling and what truly resonates. Take a moment to write them down. These 3 values represent your Kugel's immutable core. They are your personal center. By identifying and consciously living by these values, you empower yourself to navigate the chaos of life with greater clarity, purpose, and resilience. You cultivate an inner stability that allows for vibrant, flexible engagement with the world around you, knowing that no matter what forces push against your periphery, your center remains steadfast. As we move forward, carry these values with you. Let them inform your choices and strengthen your resolve. They are not merely words on a page or abstract concepts. They are the living blueprint for an authentic, purposeful, and profoundly grounded life, equipping you to face any challenge with integrity and a deep sense of self. Welcome back to our exploration of Otto Zur Linde's profound work, Die Kugel. We've journeyed through the individual's quest for self, the sculpting of one's own sphere, and the challenges of maintaining its integrity. But no sphere, no matter how perfectly formed, exists in isolation. Our journey now shifts, moving from the singular to the plural, from the self to the collective, as we arrive at Chapter 6, When Spheres Connect. Here, Zur Linde posits that true fulfillment doesn't just arise from the perfection of our individual being, but from the beautiful, complex dance of our authentic spheres interacting, overlapping, and forming a richer, more vibrant tapestry of existence with others. Zur Linde, with his characteristic poetic flair, offers us a passage that beautifully encapsulates this shift. The solitary orb, though radiant in its unique luminescence, finds its truest brilliance not in self-containment, but in the reciprocal glint cast upon it by another and another, until the heavens themselves become a constellation of shared light, each orb's essence enriched by the proximity of its kin. This isn't merely about proximity, it's about a dynamic exchange. The reciprocal glint speaks to the reflection, the mirroring, and the mutual enhancement that occurs when two authentic spheres come close enough to influence each other without losing their distinctiveness. It's a metaphor for the way our unique identities, when allowed to genuinely engage, don't diminish but amplify the beauty and understanding of both ourselves and those we interact with. Each connection adds a new facet, a new glint, contributing to a larger, more luminous whole. This concept of reciprocal glint leads us directly to the profound act of empathy. Zur Linde doesn't describe empathy as merely understanding another, but rather as respectfully visiting another person's sphere. Think of it, when you visit a friend's home, you respect their space, their rules, their decor. You don't try to rearrange their furniture or impose your own preferences. You observe, you listen, you learn about their world from their perspective. Similarly, true empathy involves stepping, with humility and genuine curiosity, into the conceptual space of another individual. It means listening not to reply, but to comprehend, observing not to judge, but to perceive, feeling not to appropriate, but to acknowledge. It requires us to temporarily set aside our own sphere's gravitational pull, our own assumptions and experiences, to truly apprehend the contours, the history, and the unique vibrations of another's kugel. This act of visiting is not about dissolving boundaries, but about understanding them more deeply, recognizing where our spheres might gently touch, or where they might remain distinct but beautifully complementary. It's a delicate dance of proximity and respect, enriching both visitor and host. The strength of these connections, Zur Linde argues, is directly proportional to the integrity of the individual spheres involved. A community comprised of individuals who have diligently sculpted their own authentic spheres, individuals who understand their values, their purpose, and their boundaries, is inherently more robust and resilient. Such individuals don't merge into an amorphous blob. Instead, they contribute their distinct, well-defined strengths to the collective. Imagine a mosaic. Each tile is unique, perfectly formed, and when placed alongside others, it contributes to a much larger, more intricate, and beautiful picture. If the individual tiles were weak, fragmented, or undefined, the entire mosaic would crumble. In the same vein, when we cultivate our own kugel with care and intention, we bring a stronger, more authentic self to our relationships, to our workplaces, to our families, and to society at large. Our individual glint is brighter, making the collective constellation shine with greater clarity and power. It's a foundational principle. Strong selves create strong societies, not through conformity, but through the vibrant, respectful interaction of diverse, well-realized identities. So, how do we begin to consciously practice this art of connecting spheres of respectful visitation? For your action point this chapter, I challenge you to engage in one conversation this week with someone, a colleague, a friend, a family member, even a new acquaintance, where your sole objective is to understand their perspective, their sphere, without interjecting your own opinions, solutions, or experiences? Really listen. Ask open-ended questions. Try to map the contours of their thoughts and feelings as if you were truly exploring a new landscape. Resist the urge to draw parallels to your own life or to offer advice. Just understand. Notice how different this type of listening feels and observe what new insights it brings, not just about the other person, but perhaps even about the nature of connection itself. This exploration of when spheres connect isn't just about social interaction, it's about a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. Zur Linde reminds us that our individual journeys, while deeply personal, are always interwoven with the paths of others. Our fulfillment, our true brilliance, lies in allowing our authentic selves to meet, greet, and enrich the authentic selves around us. It's a continuous process of sculpting, connecting, reflecting, and growing. As we close this thematic chapter, carry with you the image of those reciprocal glints, illuminating not just individual orbs, but the vast, interconnected tapestry of existence. Join me next time as we venture into the concluding thoughts on Die Kugel and its enduring legacy. Now that we've delved into the profound layers of Otto Zur Linde's Die Kugel and explored how its characters grapple with the invisible boundaries of their existence, it's time to turn these abstract insights into concrete action. This isn't just about understanding the book, it's about understanding yourself and actively shaping your own reality. I'm excited to introduce your 7-day Expand Your Sphere Action Plan, a practical, week-long challenge designed to help you synthesize the book's themes and apply these powerful philosophical concepts to your daily life. Think of it as an experiment in intentional living, a journey to identify and gently push the walls of your own perceived sphere. Let's begin. Day 1 and 2. Observe. For the first 2 days, your mission is to become a diligent observer of your own internal and external landscape. We begin by consciously journaling your media diet and daily routines. What news sources do you consume? Which social media platforms dominate your time? What kind of entertainment do you gravitate towards? Beyond that, map out your daily routines, the paths you walk, the conversations you have, the tasks you undertake. The core question here is, where are the walls of your sphere? Where do you notice patterns of repetition, comfortable habits, or perhaps even unconscious biases dictating your choices? Just like the characters in Die Kugel, eventually notice the subtle yet pervasive structure of their world, we too must first identify the unspoken rules and boundaries that define ours. Don't judge, just observe. Jot down your findings, notice what feels familiar, and perhaps more importantly, what feels restrictive. Are there perspectives you consistently avoid, topics you deem irrelevant without truly investigating? These initial observations are crucial for understanding your current confines. Day 3 and 4, challenge. Having spent 2 days observing, you're now ready to gently, but intentionally, challenge those walls. For day 3 and 4, your task is to do something deliberately outside your comfort zone. This isn't about extreme leaps, it's about taking a small, meaningful step towards uncharted territory. Maybe it's trying a new hobby you've always dismissed, like taking an introductory online class in coding or painting. Perhaps it's consciously listening to a genre of music you typically avoid, giving it a full, unbiased listen. Or, most powerfully, it could involve reading an article or listening to a podcast that presents a view diametrically opposed to your own, with the genuine intent to understand, not to debate. The essence here is to create a deliberate crack in your established sphere, allowing new light and new perspectives to filter in. This echoes the journey within Kugel, where stepping beyond the familiar, even just a little, can radically alter perception and understanding. Embrace the discomfort, for it is often the first sign of growth. Day 5 and 6 center. After observing your boundaries and then challenging them, it's vital to recenter yourself. For day 5 and 6, your challenge is to spend 15 minutes each day in quiet reflection on your core values, completely away from any distractions. Turn off your phone, close your laptop, find a quiet space, and simply sit with yourself. Ask what truly matters to me. What principles guide my decisions, even when I'm not explicitly thinking about them? What kind of person do I aspire to be, independent of external expectations or the influences I observed earlier in the week? This period of introspection is your anchor. In Kugel, as the world expands and perception shifts, the characters must continually return to their inner compass. This practice grounds you, reminding you of your authentic self amidst the potential disorientation of expanding horizons. It helps you integrate new experiences without losing sight of who you are. Day 7, connect. Finally, on day 7, it's time to bring your journey into the shared human experience. Your task is to share one thing you learned about yourself this week with a trusted friend, family member, or mentor. Choose someone you feel comfortable being vulnerable with. It could be an insight about your media consumption, a surprising discovery from your comfort zone challenge, or a clearer understanding of a core value. But the connection doesn't stop there. After sharing, practice active listening in return. Give your full attention to what your friend has to say, asking open-ended questions and truly hearing their perspective without interrupting or formulating your own response. Kugel reminds us that while our personal spheres are unique, we are also interconnected. True growth often occurs when we allow our spheres to touch, to learn from each other, and to build bridges of understanding. This act of sharing and listening completes the cycle, turning individual insight into communal wisdom. This 7-day plan is just the beginning. The goal isn't to perfectly execute every step, but to cultivate a habit of intentional observation, courageous exploration, mindful introspection, and meaningful connection. As you complete this week, carry these practices forward. Continue to ask, where are the walls of my sphere today? How can I gently push them a little further? By doing so, you'll not only deepen your understanding of Kugel, but more importantly, you'll embark on a continuous journey of expanding your own profound and limitless personal world. As we draw our journey to a close, let's distill the profound wisdom we've uncovered into a concise, actionable framework for living a more deliberate and enriched life, a 3-point summary of the sphere's enduring lesson. These aren't just ideas to ponder, they are principles to integrate, guiding lights in navigating the complexities of our own existence. First, and perhaps most fundamentally, remember this: your inner world is your anchor. In an age defined by relentless external stimuli, constant demands, and often overwhelming uncertainty, the greatest solace and strength you possess lies within. Cultivating a rich, resilient inner life through conscious solitude isn't an indulgence, it's an absolute necessity. This means carving out deliberate time for introspection, for quiet contemplation, for truly listening to the whispers of your own spirit, independent of the clamor of the outside world. It's about building a fortress of self-awareness, a sanctuary where your values, your convictions, and your deepest sense of purpose can flourish undisturbed. When you fortify this inner core, you become unshakable, resilient against the storms of external change, capable of finding calm amidst chaos, and clarity even in the face of the unknown. Your capacity to navigate life's challenges, to remain steadfast when the ground beneath you seems to shift, is directly proportional to the strength and depth of this internal foundation. Embrace this conscious solitude not as an escape, but as a powerful act of self-preservation and profound self-discovery, allowing your true self to emerge and guide your way with unwavering resolve. Secondly, internalize the powerful truth that your reality is not fixed. It is not a static construct handed down to you, but rather a dynamic, evolving landscape shaped by your perceptions, your beliefs, and most critically, your actions. To truly live, to truly experience the vastness of what life has to offer, you must actively challenge your comfort zones. This isn't merely about seeking novelty for its own sake, but about a deliberate, courageous expansion of your personal boundaries intellectually, emotionally, and experientially. Question the assumptions you hold dear, venture into conversations that challenge your perspectives, confront the fears that keep you tethered to the familiar. Our comfort zones, while offering a deceptive sense of security, are often the very cages that limit our growth and obscure the boundless possibilities that lie just beyond our current perception. By daring to step into the uncomfortable, by embracing the unknown, by actively seeking out new experiences and perspectives, you don't just expand your world, you transform your very understanding of what is possible. This continuous, intentional act of challenging yourself unlocks dormant potential, fosters adaptability, and ultimately liberates you to inhabit a reality far richer and more expansive than you ever imagined. Finally, having anchored yourself in a strong inner world and dared to expand your personal reality, you will discover that meaning is found in connection. Your journey of self-discovery and personal expansion is not an end in itself. It is the vital preparation for deeper, more empathetic engagement with others. Use your strong sense of self, your clarified values, and your expanded worldview as a foundation to build bridges, not walls. True connection is not about blending into the crowd or sacrificing your individuality. Rather, it's about bringing your whole, authentic self resilient, aware, and open into genuine interaction. It means listening with an open heart, offering compassion without judgment, and recognizing the shared humanity that binds us all. It's in the vulnerability of true intimacy, the collaborative spirit of community, and the shared joy and sorrow of human experience that life's most profound meanings are forged. A strong, cultivated self allows for empathy that transcends superficial differences, enabling you to understand and connect with others on a profoundly meaningful level. In a world that often feels fragmented, it is through these deep, empathetic relationships that we find purpose, support, and the collective strength to face the future, transforming individual wisdom into shared understanding and collective flourishing. These three pillars, a strong inner world, an expansive reality, and meaningful connection, are not sequential steps but interwoven threads, each reinforcing the other, guiding us towards a life of profound purpose and boundless possibility. We've just undertaken a deeply introspective journey through the evocative world of Otto Zur Linde's Die Kugel, a masterpiece that quietly challenges our fundamental perceptions of reality and self. We've wrestled with the invisible, yet potent, spheres that subtly shape our lives and contemplated the transformative power inherent in even the slightest, most gentle push against their boundaries. As our profound exploration of this timeless text concludes, the true richness of its wisdom isn't fully realized until it's woven into the fabric of your own lived experience. This isn't merely about understanding, it's about conscious engagement, about daring to look inward with renewed clarity and then to bravely act outward, however subtly. So, I invite you now to engage in a moment of genuine self-reflection. Consider the nuanced concept of your personal sphere, those deeply ingrained habits, unspoken societal expectations, unconscious assumptions or comfortable routines that, without conscious awareness, can subtly encircle and define you. What is one specific wall within your personal sphere, perhaps one that only now, through the lens of Zur Linde's insights, has truly come into focus, that you are willing to gently push against this week? Remember, the beauty of this act lies in its subtlety and consistency, mirroring the gradual erosion that shapes landscapes over millennia, or the imperceptible shifts that, over time, completely redefine the very architecture of your personal world. It could be a conscious decision to approach a routine task from a radically different perspective, to embrace a moment of genuine silence instead of rushing to fill a void, or to articulate an authentic thought in a situation where you might typically defer. Whatever its form, identify that single, thoughtful, and courageous act. Then, with an open heart, I genuinely encourage you to share your commitment with us. What is one wall of your sphere you will gently push against this week? Share your intention, your reflection, or even your hopeful struggle in the comments below. Your willingness to share not only reinforces your personal dedication, but also contributes to a vibrant, supportive tapestry of shared human experience, inspiring others, and nurturing a truly collaborative community dedicated to growth and profound mutual understanding. This platform is precisely designed for all of us to learn, evolve, and transcend together. If this profound journey into Kugel has offered you a fresh and compelling perspective, ignited a new intellectual spark, or resonated deeply with the quieter truths of your own being, please take a valuable moment to express your appreciation. Giving this video a like is more than just a click. It's a powerful signal to the YouTube algorithms that this content is truly valuable and worthy of wider dissemination, thereby helping more curious and contemplative minds discover these unique and profound insights and ultimately join our ever-expanding conversation. And if you haven't yet become an integral part of our discerning community, I extend a heartfelt invitation to subscribe to the channel right now. By subscribing, you ensure you will consistently receive our future explorations into wisdom for modern life, a carefully curated stream of thought-provoking discussions, incisive literary deep dives, and practical philosophical insights designed to significantly enrich your daily existence, broaden your understanding of your inner world, and sharpen your perception of the external realities that surround us. For an uninterrupted flow of our latest content, don't forget to tap that notification bell, ensuring you are always at the vanguard of our shared intellectual quest for deeper meaning, personal authenticity, and actionable wisdom. To seamlessly continue your journey of intellectual discovery and profound personal growth, I enthusiastically recommend watching our video titled Embracing the Void: Finding Meaning in Existential Questions. This piece delves deeply into remarkably similar existential themes of self-discovery, resilience, and thoughtfully navigating the inherent uncertainties of life, offering a truly complementary and expansive perspective to Otto Zur Linde's nuanced ideas. It's designed to guide you further along the compelling path of introspection and purposeful, conscious living, building upon the foundational insights gained from Kugel. You'll find a direct and convenient link to it precisely where you need it, right here on screen and prominently placed in the description below, making it effortlessly simple for you to transition from this insightful discussion to your next enriching exploration immediately after this video concludes. Consider it the vital next chapter in your ongoing and deeply personal intellectual adventure. Finally, remember that the true spirit of inquiry thrives in ongoing dialogue and continuous, active engagement. We firmly believe that genuine understanding flourishes in the shared space of conversation, far beyond the confines of a single video. For those among you who yearn to delve even deeper, to engage with exclusive, meticulously crafted content, receive curated thoughts and expansions directly in your inbox, and become an integral part of a more intimate circle of thinkers, I warmly invite you to join our exclusive newsletter. It's a dedicated space where we regularly share additional resources, provide profound expansions on our video topics, offer early access to upcoming content, and present unique perspectives, all meticulously designed to further catalyze your personal and intellectual development. Alternatively, for those who thrive in a more dynamic and interactive environment, I encourage you to consider joining our vibrant community group. Here, you can directly connect with fellow seekers, participate in stimulating live discussions, share your own progress and insights, and collectively navigate the nuanced challenges and profound triumphs of thoughtfully applying these timeless philosophies to the complexities of contemporary life. The direct links to both our insightful newsletter and our engaging community group are readily available and easily accessible in the description box below. We truly value your discerning presence and eagerly anticipate continuing this profound, multifaceted conversation with you as we collectively strive to live more thoughtfully, more consciously, and ultimately, more fully in our rapidly evolving modern world. Thank you for joining me on this profound journey through the enduring wisdom of Kugel. Until we meet again, remember to keep gently, yet persistently, pushing those walls of your sphere.